Heads down, waiting for the light to start them, and away they go. They're midway along that big front straight. They've got a long way to go before the first corner. And the trick is to stay with the pack and tuck in. 10 going through first is Pumbuppa. Sharun Nizam, 33. Behind him, 3 is Sam. 2 is Anant Mipanid. Then is Abdul Halim and Faisal Yahya. They're all up there, bundling through the turn. Everybody safely into the opening lap and already beginning to string out. We have a breakaway leader at the front early in this race. It's lap 1. The safety car is still behind them. And Pumbuppa is trying to get away, but just look at the size of this grid, bearing down. If he looked over his shoulder, he'd die of fright. He's still clear at the front, though, and looking good. Sharun Nizam is the man behind him, and Ant Mipanid is there. 4, we saw Faisal Yahya win earlier in the season. Missed out last time, but oh dear, and over he goes. That was Abdul Halim, not Yahya, the black helmet. Having full for a moment, Abdul Halim goes over the top, loops it over the high side, and he's lying in the track waiting for a moment to get up and run away. And the other riders narrowly missed him as he went down. Very lucky indeed not to be picked up by the men in the pack behind him. Race leader still Pumbuppa from Sharun Nizam, from Anant Mipanid, and that really broke up the pack fairly well and spread them out quite a bit. Let's have a look again at what happened. Number 6, Abdul Halim, just goes over the top, and it's 3 on the grass, and number 4. So it was Faisal Yahya who went wide to miss him, and 23, that was Hendry Ansia, also close, but just managed to get wide on the grass and miss Abdul Halim. And now we go back to the front with Pumbuppa tucked down behind that little tiny screen. And all the 1-2-5 men now favouring the open bodywork. Earlier in this championship, last year at least, there was a smattering of bodywork in the 1-2-5s and the 110s. A couple of the Suzuki runners in the 110 still have it, but almost everybody else has dropped it. There was a debate about whether it was too heavy or whether it provided any aerodynamic benefit whatsoever. And that is Taruna. Adi Taruna pushes away, number 8. He's out of it. Looks like he came off just the same way. Back to the bodywork. Was there a weight penalty? Hard to say. Certainly Megan Nathan, who runs it on the Suzuki, still said that he liked it because when he was cranked right over in the corner, he couldn't see the road, and if he could, it would frighten him too much. Tamanun Silapakul did well last time out in Thailand, and he's not doing so well this time out in Indonesia, cruising home. So the championship getting a bit of a shake-up, and the 110 championship getting a bit of a shake-up too, because Megan Nathan's not there on the grid. He wasn't there when the riders left the line. He's not there in the race, and so the 110 championship will change here quite dramatically at the end of this race. Still a very humid afternoon. You can see for yourself the humidity in the air. The air is actually thick when you look at it down the length of the straight. That's water, and that moisture has made qualifying over the past couple of days a little bit of a hit and miss affair. That's why all the times improved so much in the second session, because it was so much drier. And still this battle continues. They've made the break, and it is a three-way fight. And the trick now for these two is to keep a toe on the leader. Pumbuppa, number 10, he's out in front, but he's got Anant Mipanid and Sharun Nizam right behind him, 2 and 33. There they are, and they've got to stay within striking distance. If he gets away from them and breaks the toe, they'll be fighting their own battle over second place, but he will be gone. Still, Ekraj Pumbuppa doesn't look back. It's almost fatal if you do that, and you tend to lose time just by looking over your shoulder. No slack in the wire. They never let go of the throttle, especially on a circuit like this. There are only a couple of places where the 110s really need to back off, and on a place like this, which is so wide when you can pick your line and use so much of the road, whoever backs off the most loses. That's all there is to it. And the trick is to keep those things right up on the pipe. Here is a part of the 110 battle we were talking about with the full bodywork Suzukis. Number 12 is Hakim Salihin, 31 is Kanapathy, and here are the leaders. Still Pumbuppa with Anant Mipanid and Sharun Nizam behind him, first, second and third. Been like that since the start. These two have swapped places a couple of times over second place, and somebody going wide in the background. That is one of the Suzukis. And I think number 12 that was. And that was Hakim Salihin, number 12, off on the grass, gathers it all up, rejoins and carries on. And Anna Mepanid seems to have got second place pretty much sorted out now from Sharud Nizam. The Malaysian rider tucked in the slipstream in third place, head down, just peering up across the top and just seeing these two. And look at this, Mepanid is definitely thinking, what can I do about the race leader? Just can't bring that machine any closer to him. One is Nifon Sangsuwan, 17, Ahmed Jayadi. 4 there is Faisal Yahya. We saw him running wide to make room for number 6, Abdul Halim, when he fell. Still in the battle, but nowhere near the battle for the rostrum places, which is drawing to a close now. And it's drawing to a close with Punbupa out in front, where he's been pretty much since the start. He went into turn 1 in the lead, came out of turn 1 in the lead, and that's been the end of that. It's been his race from start to finish. Sharud Nizam, number 33, was the pole man, and Ekaraj Punbupa was back on row 2. There's the leader of the 110 race, and that is going to change the championship, definitely. He did well last time out, but not as well as Punbupa has done this time out. Checkered flag as Punbupa goes over the line, and the other two going along behind him in the order in which they have been racing for so long. Anna Mepanid second, and Sharud Nizam, number 33, in third place. These two stopping to pick up tie flags. Christmas Villaroj comes out to slap his riders on the back. First and second place for Team Christmas in the 1-2-5 race. And that cheery smile doesn't tell you an awful lot about Christmas Villaroj. We'll get to that later. And let's have a look at the confirmation of results for the 1-2-5 and 110s. Ekaraj Punbupa wins the 1-2-5 race ahead of Anna Mepanid and poleman Sharud Nizam, with Faisal Yahya in 4th place, and the defending champion Nifon Sangsuwan was 5th going over the line. And then there was Ahmad Jayadi behind him, and that really is going to give this championship a fairly good shake-up after 3 rounds. Punbupa goes up, of course, from 3rd crown. Will go to one of the top 3 at the final round. The 110 result will give this title race an even bigger shake-up, with one of the front runners missing from the grid before the start and another one down in 8th place at the finish. Suhathai takes the checkered flag from Mohammed Faisal and Sivanes and Kanapathi, and that's not the whole story in the points. Suhathai here is top.